Of course, is Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa, devolution, dealing with mitigating drought, of course, in special programs, which is under his ministry. Where I stopped, and you've seen this hashtag on Twitter, people talking about we cannot ignore. Yes. Kenya's angry that the government is not ready to acknowledge deaths. You're still saying people haven't died, but that will be established. However, either way, you have failed Kenyans when you say food security is part of Agenda 4. You have failed Kenyans by... I mean, Kenyans are already starving. That is in itself is a failure. Yet we have the Met Department saying they warned you before. You had already seen the warning signs. So what happened? What happened? Why didn't you act before?
First of all, Hussein, on the issue of denials, I think we want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
No death has been verified as directly caused by drought.
All right.
Now, Hussein, do you have any names? Do you have any specific deaths that you as media know? Because from politicians, don't rely on politicians. You give a politician an inch, he'll take a mile.
It's okay.
I've been a politician before.
Yeah.
You're
also a politician, right?
When I want national government or the county to act, I'll scream or I'll moan louder than the bereaved.
All right.
But you as professionals, you're also partners to government.
Okay.
We expect you to verify some of these facts.
That is fine. And
not to sensationalize.
That will be verified.
Do you have any names?
That will be verified.
Do you have any villages?
Yes, we have. And you were there when they were being named. All I'm saying is, you're saying that...
You yourself, not the politicians.
Yes, we
are
have...
you relying on the politicians?
We have media people,
yes.
And we have our reporters who are saying the situation is dire on the
ground.
Do you have any names? Of course, you don't have any names specifically, and that is why I'm asking you. You've been there, and politicians are talking about people who have died. You left there without necessarily confirming, and you're saying you're denying this.
We have not verified, and we have our people on the ground.
But you had the chance to verify, right?
We have put in place remedial measures to ensure that no Kenyan loses their life.
And we hope no Kenyans
we are moving food to the affected areas. What we're saying is that we have 47 counties in Kenya where we had long rains that were above average. We have a good and a bumper harvest. But counties that were affected because the long rains were depressed, the short rains failed. We have 12 counties. So you knew that? We have 12 counties. As we speak tonight, Hussein, we're still expecting rains. We're told by now would be getting rain. But we're now being told by experts. There was a cyclone in Mozambique that has sucked in most of the moisture that was bringing us rain. So the rains might be delayed. That's why as national government, we're not taking chances. We're moving in to support the counties with water, with food, and to bring relief to those who are affected. So we will not allow a Kenyan to lose his life because of this. And I hope that hasn't happened. Yes. Because these are politicians who have said that, and the independent media people. We are responsible government. I mean, you're castigating them for being politicians. You want me to believe you as a politician and not them as politicians? Either way, we'll verify that. The allegation that will be verified.
All right, moving on. My point was, and my question was, you knew this was coming. The drought was coming.
Yes.
You've talked about this here before in 2017, in 2018, and now.
Correct.
Seriously, why wasn't something done before? Why does it have to get to this level where somebody's starving it, you're saying we have enough food?
Something has been done because production...
When people have starved.
Production has been increased. Our food security situation has never been more stable in terms of even surplus. What we're asking is now...
You're saying now?
For the affected counties, can we get food to them? So we are in the process of mobilizing. Like in Trans Nzoia, in Uasin Gishu, we have food in Nakuru. So all we are doing, that's why we're saying there's no cause for alarm.
But people are starving.
Yes.
We've seen the images.
Yes, we are bringing them food.
Isn't that failing itself? My question is, in that failure, when people are starving, that's when you're trying to bring them the food. Why wasn't this done before?
As I said, county governments under Section 110 of the PFM Act are supposed to have a kitty to take care of each county's needs.
So you think they failed?
I don't want to blame them. I want to say, like, Governor Nanok has tried. I was there in Turkana. He set aside almost 200 million. I went to Baringo. Governor Kiptis told me he had about 30 million. So what we're saying is that, particularly for ASAL counties, as the Minister for ASAL counties, I'm urging governors to do much more. Especially for ASAL counties, they are the hardest hit when it comes to drought. After droughts, we'll be going to Tana River and Kilifi. There will be floods when the rains come. You
were here, I mean, when we talked about the problem of drought.
Yes.
I remember when I'll quote you when you said, I think last year, climate change is real, rain is dropping, we must come up with strategies to change this.
Yes.
So you knew this is something that happens every year.
Yes.
So number one, where are these strategies? Government has talked about dams, completion of dams by 2020. instances where the agriculture minister is being quoted as they'll sink dams before March 2018 or something, or before the long rains. Yes. 31 of them. I don't know if that has happened. Some of these dams are subject of investigation. Aurora and Kimwarer, and you have been questioned as well regarding those dams.
Correct.
A parliamentary committee wants many of these projects stopped and investigated.
Yes.
Honorable Wamalwa, honestly, where are we going as a country?
As a country,
how do you ensure food security
our population is growing. Climate change is real. I was in Kirinyaga. I've never seen temperatures that high in Kirinyaga. I was told we no longer have snow on the peaks. Something is happening. Our rivers are drying. So the reality is, Hussein, this is the terrible new normal. So we must think outside the box. But rains will come. Yeah. But we don't know when they will come. But what we are saying is that when the rains come, we have billions of cubic meters of water that will be flowing to the ocean. The ocean does not need the water. The people do. What we must do, Hussein, is build dams. The agriculture ministry is receiving almost 600 million. They are not doing dams. They are doing big water plants that can be done quickly, that can be done in terms of days or weeks, so that by the time in April the rains are coming, we're able to harvest and store that water. But like as national government, we are looking at the mega dams. Most of these are Vision 2030 dams. They were conceptualized like Aurora and Kimwarer in 1986.
But I remember you saying by next year they'll be done, and I don't think that's going to happen clearly.
It's not next year. Mega dams take years in terms of feasibility, in terms of resource mobilization. But as we speak, what we are saying is that though the dams, actually the most infamous word in Kenya now is
a dam.
And I can tell you, Hussein, tonight, we have no option but to build these dams, to harvest and store this water. Though we are facing challenges, let us deal with the challenges, but for God's sake, let us build the dams. Because most of them, when you look at Mwachi Dam at the coast, you look at Thwake Dam in Ukambani, you look at Aurora and Kimwarer, these are all Vision 2030 dams. So there's no way we are going to realize Vision 2030 without implementing the Vision 2030 projects. So I have no worry tonight as I speak here. If Eugene Wamalwa has messed up with those dams, let him go to jail. But for God's sake, let us build those dams and let us make Kenya a food secure country. The Big Four will not be realized without water. Water is central whether it comes to agriculture, housing or health, or even manufacturing.
Yet, one of the issues of the Big Four, as I mentioned, was food security. As you speak, Honorable Wamalwa, with due respect to all the plans you have for future, today people are starving in Kenya. I don't know what you're going to tell Kenyans, that they should just keep on waiting for this vicious cycle until all these dams are ready and in line with Vision 2030. I don't know what's
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's no need to panic. We have enough food. From Turkana to Kitale, there are a few kilometers. Food is already moving. I was there. I went to Turkana North, West. I went to the East and South, and to Loima. Already food is on the ground. Nakuru, as we speak, food is moving to Baringo, and we'll be going to northern Kenya. So no cause for alarm. There's plenty of food within our borders. We'll get it to the people within next week.
And the question, you don't have to answer this because you're running out of time. The question is, why would you want to get it to the people now if people have already starved? And that's why people are saying that is already a failure on the part of the government. Honorable Wamalwa, will get you again in studio because there's a lot more I need to ask you, including Galana Kulalu and how it's been a failure, and people are concerned because this was built as a solution to Kenya's food shortage and food security.
But there was proof of concept, Hussein. I've been here with you. As we speak, we're able to prove what Galana can produce. All we're doing now, as government...
Not what it was planned to produce initially, isn't it?
As government, we're now handing over to private sector to do the production. It's not the business of government to do business, by the way. Ours was to do the infrastructure, create the conducive environment. Then private sector comes in to do production.
But you spent,
so we are at that transition stage.
You spent 5.9 billion shillings.
Yes.
And what we have only realized is about 237 million shillings worth of maize.
You see, that's where you get it wrong. It was not about production. It was about what can be produced. With a model farm there, we are already inviting investors who want to come and do the entire 1 million acres. The model farm was only 10,000 acres. The proof of concept has been achieved. As far as I'm concerned, Galana succeeded to that extent. The production phase is not for government. It's for private sector. And we are transiting to commercializing that now.
Actually, what you're saying is that Galana was never about producing
by government,
but selling an idea to investors Yet it was billed as a solution to Kenya's food problems.
Yes.
To investors.
Once you open up virgin land like Galana, that had only snakes and wild animals, and now you're able to produce 39 bags per acre, you have achieved something. Okay.
Again, as I said, there's a lot of questions about Galana Kulalu. Sadly, I have to wind it up here. I'll get you again. Of course, we also have to release you. You're moving around the country trying to mitigate the situation. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you. We're going to Samburu and Isiolo and the rest of the 12 affected counties. And help is on the way. Kenyans, there's no need to panic.
All right.
We have enough food.
Cabinet Secretary, in the country, that's what you're saying. Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa is the Cabinet Secretary Devolution. We are back after this break.